obstruct your ascent. They also can help to stabilize you. The conditioning comes to you from the matter with which we are dealing every day. When a human being sees a matter, he aggresses it. And he wants to use that matter for his own purpose. He changes the forms of the matter for his own purpose. He starts getting used to matter as comfort or as a help or a guide in life. The more you start depending on matter, the more your spontaneity is finished, because you are dealing with the dead. Matter, when it is dead, then only we deal with it. When it is living, we are not so much bothered about it. So the deadness of that matter settles within us when we start using that matter for our purpose. But how are we to otherwise exist is the question people can ask if God has given us these material things and this matter to be used. Are we not supposed to use them? And are we not supposed to enjoy them? But we don't enjoy really. Before realization, you cannot enjoy any matter. You can only form a habit and may become a slave of that matter before realization. It's a fundamental principle of economics that wants in general are never satiable. Means today you want to buy something like a carpet, alright, bought it. So now that carpet becomes a headache because it's your possession, you have to look after it. You have to insure it, you have to worry about it that it doesn't get spoiled, first of all. And secondly, you really get into another mood of buying something else. Now you have bought the carpet, finished. Then you have to have something else, then you have to have something else, then you have to have something else. So it does not satiate you. It does not give you the joy. Matter can never give you joy. It's the spirit that gives you joy. And when the ascent takes place, then you become the spirit. Then matter takes another value system within ourselves. The value system of matter is very different. As I am sure Jason must have told you, that when you get your realization, then you start feeling the cool breeze in the hand. In relationship to matter, it's very helpful to be realized so. Because immediately you know what is good for you and what is bad. For example, you eat something that's not good for you. Immediately you lose your vibrations or you become hot. Even looking at it may happen. You want to sit on a chair on which somebody who is a very wrong type of a person has sat. Immediately you feel, oh, something wrong in this place. With your vibrations, which is a definite thing and absolute thing. And this conditioning can only be over. These habits can be overcome only if you become the spirit, because spirit is always dominated by the matter. And the spirit has to overcome that domination of the matter. Actually, spirit cannot be dominated by it. But what I mean is that it is covered, like the sun can be covered with clouds. In the same way, all our domination, or we can say all our enslavement of the matter makes us dominate our spirit in the sense that we cover it up. The clouds, we can't see the spirit, we can't feel it. The spontaneity which is the beauty of the spirit we do not feel in a person. So in judging a person, what do we judge? How that person looks, what dress he's wearing, how he walks, what are his formal ways, does he know how to say thank you, sorry or not, you see. All these things impress us very much. What sort of a car he has, what sort of a house. Maybe we may miss a saint. We may miss Christ again because he was a carpenter's son. How are we to know who is Christ? Is there any way of finding out who is Christ? Many people are now talking Christ is going to come, he's going to come on the television. You can put up anyone there as Christ. How are we going to make it out? By his dress or by some sort of a thing they have done? Most of the paintings of Christ and most of his statues that I have seen are nowhere near Christ. Nowhere near Christ. See, they are horrid things. I don't know what are they. So how will you make it out that this is Christ or not? Or this is some sort of a hocus pocus fellow or some sort of a person who has come just deliberately to delude us from reality. There is no way out to find out what is the truth, because we are so much used to material forms that we have. For example, our idea of art also is in the same way, molded. We like this kind of art. If you ask why? Because, this is this kind of a thing, harmony, or maybe this is more proportioned and all that. But how do you know? Because you've read certain books, or maybe that you have understood from somebody else that this is art, this is beautiful. You brand something as beautiful, but is it really? If it is beauty, it should be spirit, because spirit is beauty and beauty is spirit. So is it beauty? How do you make out that this art is beautiful or not? For example, according to all normal ideas of womanhood, I don't think Mona Lisa is a beautiful woman. The way these days you see mosquito-like women are regarded as beautiful. So how they call Mona Lisa so beautiful? What's in her? Thousands of people would be assembled to see that painting. Why? What is that? Only vibrations will tell you that it emits vibrations. It appeals to your spirit without your knowledge. You are not aware of it. It appeals to your spirit. That's why universally that painting is appreciated. But when this conditioning becomes collective, any such conditioning becomes collective, and you accept this is the form that is beauty, this is the form that is reality, this is the form that is spontaneity, then the confusion starts. The confusion starts at that point, when it becomes a collective thing. For example, I met some people or some gurus. When I asked them, what makes you think that your guru is truthful? What has he given? He said, because sitting in my chair I just start jumping by myself. I don't do it, but it happens, it's spontaneous. And in my presence, the way his body was moving was so horrifying. Anybody would have tremendous compassion and concern for such a person that who can't sit for 5 minutes.
Excuse me, it wasn't spontaneous, it was nervousness.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But
You're very wrong in what you talk.
What?
About everything.
From where do you come?
Up the road.
That's it. Better go.
Well, yeah,
Look at that. She'll go to the pub now. Must try to understand the subtleties, you see. If you are confirmed with what, now supposing somebody started jumping in the thing, and she says it's two nerves. That means you are not in control of your nerves, isn't it? Don't you think so? You are not in control. You have not control. Spontaneity is a thing which is not a thing that makes you a slave. This is the point I am trying to bring. It doesn't, it makes you a master. Spontaneity must make you a master and not a slave of it. She must have come from TM because TM people jump like that. And they end up as epileptic people. I have cured so many of them. I don't know if someone has come from there. Even the head of their academy in Scotland, who was the Flying Squad Academy as I call it, where people paid 3,000. Now this gentleman sitting here is one of them who suffered. When they suffer, then they know what it is. The other day we saw somebody with epilepsy of such frequency, the poor child, he was hardly 26 years of age, young man, supposed to enjoy his life, was going into such trauma you can't imagine. And if this is happening to somebody going to a guru, you paid for it, how can it be anywhere near spirit? This is what I am trying to tell you. That spirit gives you spontaneity in which you are the master. You are the master of yourself. Complete master. No enslavement of any kind. No habits formation coming. All habits stop. You become so spontaneous that I don't have to tell you. You just talk about all habits. Then you become a master of yourself. That should happen to you. Instead of that, if you indulge into things which enslave you, you may like it for a while because you can't help it. But if you really sit down, you will know that it's not the thing that you wanted. You wanted to be the master of yourself. Now here in this map, as is shown, we have two powers, left and right powers. The left power is the power that gives us condition. Left side, the subconscious, the collective subconscious. That gives us the condition. Now if you try to deny all that, then the right side is even worse. It gives us action, but with action we can become very ego-oriented. So both ways it can be troublesome. Supposing you say that alright, I'll have no conditioning of any type, what's wrong in doing this, what's wrong in doing that? And if you just move with that idea, with that freedom, it will be abandonment, it may not be freedom, because freedom must have wisdom behind it. So both the sides, the movements on both the sides are wrong. So what is alright in the center is not to get conditioned by anything and not to be ego-oriented. But how to do it is the problem. The problem is how to do it. To be spontaneous is to be absolutely free. Now I would consider these two powers as say a brake and an accelerator in a car. Now you use both the powers. You use the brake first, you use the accelerator, you try to control these two powers. But first of all, it is difficult to understand how to use these powers. Gradually, with practice, you know how to drive the car, you become the good driver. After becoming the good driver, still you are not the master. But then you become the master. So today the master within us is the spirit. But before realization, we are not the master. Because the master has not come in our conscious mind. It is not expressing in our conscious mind, in the sense that we are not empowered by its powers. The spirit exists, it has its own powers. But we haven't felt those powers within us. Once we feel the powers of the spirit, we are empowered by our own powers which are there. The powers are within us. These are our own powers. We don't have to borrow from anyone, ask from anyone, they are in ourselves. The spirit is within us. Only thing that spirit has to give light in our consciousness. It has to come in our consciousness. In simple medical terminology, we can say that the spirit must manifest itself in our central nervous system. So that we should know what we are doing. Not that we start just jumping on the chair, or some people say, no, we just start doing it. It is a process. It's not correct. You are not in conscious mind. You are doing it out of hypnosis. Hypnosis may be coming from outside force. It's not your force, your awareness, your understanding, your power. It is somebody else's, because you are not doing it. As matter has a power to overpower us, in the same way, there are some material things, I should say, which are very dangerous, which are placed. For example, now cancer. Take cancer. Cancer overpowers. It's a very serious thing. Cancer overpowers you. You cannot overpower cancer. Take a very concrete example. Now, how is it caused? Doctor says this way, that way. Surge Yoga can cure cancer, definitely 100%. It can cure. It has cured. Many Surge Yogis have cured cancer. How? It's very simple. That you become master of yourself, and you master the disease also. You master everything.